Hi and welcome. Today I have a 30-minute vinyasa flow for you. Let's get started in a comfortable seated position, cross-legged. You can also sit up on your heels if that's more comfortable for you. But grounding your palms down on top of your knees or bringing your hands together at heart center, we're going to start with 3 grounding breaths. Deep, full belly inhale, fill up, and exhale. Let that breath go. You can close your eyes as you take the next 2 breaths on your own. Really breathing deep, slowing down the breath, slowing down the thoughts as you find yourself and get centered on your yoga mat. Allowing yourself to settle in to 30 minutes of yoga, connecting our breath to our movements, finding a sense of calm and ease. We're going to go to hands and knees and get moving. So align your shoulders directly over your wrists, hips directly over your knees, neutral spine, and we're going to drop into some cat-cow. So on an inhale, drop the belly, tilt the tailbone up, gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, draw belly button into spine, add a curve to your back, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose, gaze up, belly down. Exhale, curl in, tuck the chin slightly as you round your spine. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze up. Exhale, curl in. One more here. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze up. Exhale, round the spine, cat pose. Really bring the belly button to the spine and press through all 10 fingers and the tops of the feet here. And come back to neutral spine, tabletop. This time we're going to go into thread the needle. So on an inhale, bring one arm up high to the ceiling, gaze at your fingertips, and on an exhale, thread that arm down and through underneath the arm that's holding you up. Set your ear on the mat and your shoulder on the mat. Inhale, grow longer, find more space in your spine. And on an exhale, twist deeper. Open the shoulders, find a space that feels really good here. One more deep breath in and deep breath out, release. Both palms back down, other side. Inhale, lift the opposite arm up high to the sky. Feel that opening across the front of your chest. And on an exhale, thread the arm through, resting ear on the mat. Really getting a nice stretch through the side and a nice gentle spinal twist here. Inhale, find some more length. Exhale, maybe you twist open another inch. One more deep breath in and out, release. Back to hands and knees here. And now we're going to do bird dog. So we're going to do some balancing and we're going to curl in with bird dog. So let's get started by taking one leg back, come onto the ball of the foot, and then float the opposite arm parallel to the mat, palm facing the midline of the body. On an inhale, lift the leg and stretch your arm and leg up in opposite directions. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, curl in, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch long, gaze forward. Exhale, curl in, elbow to knee. Inhale, gaze forward, stretch long. Exhale, curl in, elbow to knee. Last one. Inhale, stretch it out long. And exhale, elbow to knee and hold. And release. Other side. Take the other leg. Step it back, coming onto the ball of the foot. Opposite arm lifts, palm facing the center, the midline of the body. On an inhale, lift that leg off the mat. So arm and leg are parallel in one line, stretching in opposite directions. On an inhale, stretch, get 1 inch taller between the fingertips and the toes. And on an exhale, curl in, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch it out long. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, get long. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, get long. Exhale, curl in. One last time. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, curl it in. And release. Maybe you shake the hips side to side if that feels good. We're going to go into fire hydrants. So similar, but just a different movement here from tabletop. We're going to take the weight into the right leg and inhale with that left leg bent. we're just going to simply lift it up off the mat, coming to hip height. And release 5 times. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're just going to find some free movement in that hip, just creating circles with the leg, keeping that 90-degree bend in that knee, and just finding some movement here, loosening up the hip joints. Move in the opposite direction, just getting loose here as we get ready to move. And release that side, place the weight into the left knee, and then we're going to do fire hydrants on the right side. So inhale, lift, and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5. And release. Hip circles on this side. Kick back and around a couple times. And then when you're ready, opposite direction. Kick out and back this time. Breathing. And release both knees back. Neutral spine tabletop. Challenge here to tuck the toes, and can you lift the knees hovering off the mat and hold? Doesn't look like much, but it's tough. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, hips go high to the sky. Our first downward facing dog of class. So really getting comfortable in downward facing dog, pedaling the knees out, coming onto the ball of the foot, warming up. Maybe you want to wag your tail in downward facing dog, finding a little bit of a stretch down the sides of your body. Spread the fingers, all 10 fingers spread, and press back through your hands as you energetically drive your heels into the mat. Long spine, tailbone slightly tilts up toward the sky. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more time, deep, full breath in and deep breath out. Know that throughout practice, downward facing dog will be the active rest pose, but you can also find child's pose at any time, just bending your knees and melting your torso over your legs, keeping the knees out wide or more narrow, whatever feels right in your body. Come back up to downward facing dog, and we're going to flow through sun salutations. So we're going to take 2 cycles. Inhale, gaze forward between the hands. Exhale, step or hop forward, feet between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. On an inhale, sweep the arms all the way up high to the sky. And exhale, hands come heart center at the middle of your chest. Maybe taking this moment to set an intention for the rest of your practice. Maybe it's to be a little more calm. Maybe it's to just be present, be here now. Or maybe you want to dedicate this next 20 minutes to someone who needs it. On an inhale, float the arms up high to the sky, gaze up. And exhale, cactus the arms to 2 90-degree angles and take a nice subtle back bend here. This should feel really good as you draw the elbows back, puff the chest forward. Inhale, arms raise high to the sky, and exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, plant the hands and step the feet back to high plank. And then we're going to lower down slowly and with control all the way down to the belly. Body in one piece until you reach the floor, hugging the elbows into the body and placing the tops of the feet on the mat. And inhale, you're going to lift the chest, lift through the spine, lift through the crown of the head, keeping those elbows tucked into the body, baby cobra, or lift up to cobra. Deep breath in. On an exhale, tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. We're going to run through that vinyasa one more time, linking breath to movement. So we're going to link one breath, one movement. You can repeat what we just did, going all the way down to the mat onto the belly, or you can follow what I do We're going to hover over the mat, Chaturanga Dandasana. When you're ready, tilt forward, plank pose. Inhale, roll forward over the toes. And exhale, lower down all the way or halfway, keeping the elbows hugged into the body, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Hips are off the mat, rolling onto the tops of the feet. Gaze up, pressing through the hands. Exhale, back down, downward facing dog. One breath, one movement. So inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins, long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Mountain pose, hands to prayer. Exhale. Inhale, arms go all the way up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back, plank pose. Take an inhale, shift forward. Exhale, keeping the elbows hugged into the body as you roll down halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Deep, full breath in. And a full, deep breath out. Stay with that steady breath. Step that right foot forward between the hands, keeping that back heel off the ground. Lift the arms up, high crescent lunge. Biceps frame the ears. Inhale, lift through the chest and the crown of the head. Strong legs, 90-degree bend in that front knee. Straight back leg. Inhale, lift tall, and on an exhale, lunges with airplane arms. Sweep the arms back and up, and back, and up, and back, and up, and bend, and back up, crescent lunge. Inhale, grow 1 inch taller. Sink into that front knee, sink deeper. And exhale, plant the hands down, framing the foot, step back, high plank. Exhale, lower down halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep, full breath in here. And a deep, full breath out. Inhale, step the left foot forward in between the hands. And then inhale, stand up, crescent lunge. Balancing on the back toes, back heel is lifted. Biceps frame the ears. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, airplane arms, bend the back knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, stand up. This time, instead of folding forward, we're going to step that back foot forward to meet the front. Inhale, lift the chest. Chair pose. Can you sink deeper with the hips? Deeper with the hips, chest lifts, biceps by the ears. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink 1 inch deeper. And fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Option to go down child's pose or lower down halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, heading into the peak flow of class. Deep breath in, full breath out. Check in with yourself, check in with your thoughts, steady breath, and let's move. Inhale, lift the right leg high up to the sky, pointing the toe. You can either keep your hips squared to the mat, or I like to open them up, really enjoying a nice hip stretch. Maybe you want to bend the knee, do some more of those hip circles that we did on the mat in the beginning of class. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch long behind you. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift the left leg up high. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, hold. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, foot steps between the hands. Spiral that back foot down, so this time your back heel is dialed down to the ground. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. So your shoulders are facing forward. Your hips, you're aiming for them to face forward if you can. And then your back leg is straight and you've got a deep bend in the front knee, 90-degree angle, biceps by the ears, warrior one. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, sink deep into that front knee. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, airplane arms. So swing the arms back as you bring your torso forward, palms facing down. Energy through the crown of the head and through the back fingertips. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Option here to go into a humble warrior, clasp the hands together and sink deeper as you lift those arms up high to the ceiling and bowing deeply. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And release back to warrior one. Listen closely here. You can go straight up into warrior three with airplane arms, or you can slowly step that back foot in and ease in. See if you can get the weight into the front leg as you bring your torso down, trying to get your body in a T shape. Arms long in front of you. Hips should be square, as though you had flashlights on your hips. The lights would be facing directly down on the mat. Your hands can be in airplane position, palms face down. For the added challenge, you can have your biceps by the ears, micro bend in the standing knee. It's okay to wobble, it's okay to shake. Just get right back into it. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Drop the hands to the ground, standing splits. You can tent the fingertips or place the hands on the mat. Folding forward here. Inhale, lift the back leg long and strong. Exhale, curtsy lunge. Bring the floating leg behind the standing leg. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, curtsy lunge. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, curtsy lunge. Inhale, standing splits. Two more. Curtsy lunge. And standing splits. Your legs should be burning. Curtsy lunge. And standing splits. Lower that leg down. Forward fold. Take a moment to just shake it out. Ragdoll, so you can grab opposite elbows here. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. If you want to do a vinyasa, you are welcome to hop back and do that. If not, slowly stand all the way up. Take a moment here, mountain pose, and then simply just step that right leg back. Do the opposite side here. So you want to come into warrior one, dial that back heel down on the ground, down on the mat, deep bend in the front knee, 90-degree bend, biceps by the ears. Inhale, lift the torso up through the crown of the head, energy through the fingers, deep bend in the front knee, back leg long and strong. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow forward, airplane arms here. So option to stay right here or clasp the hands behind you. Get a nice shoulder rinse. So here you want to puff up the chest as you bow forward, driving the arms up toward the ceiling. Breathing deeply. Inhale and exhale. One more deep breath in and a full breath out. Back to warrior one. And then you know where we're going this time. We're going to see if we can go to warrior three with airplane arms or arms straight out in front of us. You can slowly bring the weight into the left leg and step forward, or you can challenge yourself to do this in one fluid motion as though you're moving through honey. So move the weight into the front leg, micro bend in that knee, lift that back leg, your hips parallel to the mat. Energy long and strong through fingers and toes and crown of the head. Can you challenge yourself to bring those arms forward and the body into a T shape? It's okay to shake. I'm doing it too. Inhale, stretch long. And then forward fold, standing splits. Lift that back leg high up to the sky. Hands rest on the mat. Breathe here. Inhale, lift that leg higher. Exhale, bend the knees, curtsy lunge, back knee meets the front knee. Bend both knees. Inhale, stretch the legs tall. Exhale, curtsy lunge. Inhale, stretch both legs straight and long. Exhale, curtsy lunge. Inhale, 2 straight legs. Exhale, curtsy lunge. One more. Inhale, straight legs, and bring that right leg back down to meet the left. Forward fold. Option G, that same clasp with the hands. Let gravity bring the hands down to the mat. Letting it all go in a forward fold. Do what feels best for the body. Maybe you want to pump those legs out. We're going to get a good stretch here. Stretch it out a bit. One last challenge of class. So when you keep those hands on the mat and just simply take that left leg and step it back, pyramid pose. So you want both heels on the mat, back foot slightly facing forward, and just get a nice forward fold. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. You can have a bend in that front knee. Of course, you want to try to straighten the leg as much as possible, but of course, keep a bend there. It's totally fine. Just letting gravity allow you to melt over that front leg. And inhale, bring the hands to the hips and slowly rise up all together. Step that back foot forward to meet the front, switching sides. Right leg steps back at an angle. Both heels on the mat. Inhale, stretch tall, hands at the hips, lifting through the crown of the head with a flat back. We're going to slowly bend forward. Bring the hands to the mat. You can put a bend in that front knee. I need to on this side, but just allowing gravity to do the work here, folding over that front leg, feeling that nice stretch. Try to keep that right hip forward. Don't let it fly away. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Step that back foot forward. We're going to do a couple standing poses here. So I want you to place that balance in that left foot, and we're going to go into tree pose. So I'm going to face you. Placing the balance in the left foot, you're going to just kickstand that right knee. You can place that right heel on the left ankle, and maybe this is your tree, and that's beautiful. Maybe you can lift that foot to the calf and hold there. See, I'm wobbling a little bit. You can too. Maybe you want to guide that foot up to the thigh and hold. Hands to prayer, balancing here. Maybe the arms can float up high to the ceiling, growing the branches on your tree. Where can you find some freedom and release when you're being challenged? Stick with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Let it go. Taking it out for a second, and then we're going to switch sides. So right leg strong and straight. Left toes on the mat. And maybe you stay right here, and that's a beautiful, beautiful pose. Maybe you lift the foot up to the calf, or maybe you can guide that foot all the way up to the thigh. Hold here, long spine, wherever you are. Keep the gaze steady, toes locked into the mat. Breathing. Hands to heart center. Maybe you can lift the corners of the mouth. No pressure. It's just yoga. Lift the arms up to the sky. Open the arms. Find some freedom here. Welcome something into your life here. Maybe you can welcome some wobbles too. And release. Option for the final vinyasa of class. So stand at mountain pose at the top of your mat, extended mountain, arms to the ceiling. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back, plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. So now we're just going to stretch it out. So from downward facing dog, step that right foot forward between the hands and drop the back knee down to the mat. Releasing the toes, top of the foot on the mat, runner's lunge, just leaning forward in the hips, just finding some movement here. I like to kind of gently bounce slowly, feeling the opening in the hip creases. And then from here, we're going to shift the weight back. Maybe you walk your hands back into a half splits pose, letting gravity allow your torso to melt over that front leg. And then find a movement that feels good. I like to flow between runner's lunge and half splits. Find some movement in the hips and stretch in the hamstrings and the hips. Take a couple breaths on your own to flow between these two shapes. And when you're ready, just come to tabletop position and switch it out. Left leg forward to a low runner's lunge. If it feels good, you can do lizard, which is just a deeper version, just sinking low into that hip. Your hand can come up onto the thigh like mine is, and then stretching back into half splits. Maybe you're flexible and you want to sit back on the hips, just finding a stretch that feels good, a release that feels good in your body today. And that can change side to side, day to day. Do what feels good in your body. Couple more breaths here. And release back to tabletop, and then finding a way onto your back. We're going to go into a figure 4 supine pigeon pose. So taking that right leg and placing the ankle on top of the left thigh. Then you're going to reach forward, take your two hands and hug them around your shin of your left leg or the back of the thigh. And use that right elbow to press into the right knee as you lay back, and use your bicep strength to pull your left leg in. Hip opener here. Breathe into a couple deep breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to release that, but keep the legs as they are. Just cross that right leg over the left. Bring the arms out to a T. And just let the legs drop over to the left side. Inhale, think length in the spine. You may have to make an adjustment. Exhale, allow those legs to fall over. And return to center, unwind. I like to just release and allow my legs to just stay up high like this, waterfall pose. And then switching sides. Left ankle on top of the right knee, figure 4 stretch with your legs. Left knee is off to the side. Reach forward, grab both hands and grab the shin or the back of the thigh. Use that left elbow to press into the left knee and use your bicep strength to pull the legs in toward the body. Deep hip stretch here. Breathe. And then when you're ready, release that side. Allow that right leg to cross over the left and drop the knees off to the right. Allow the gaze to fall over to the left side. Breathe into this final stretch. Just one more stretch here and then we get to relax. Inhale, the knees back to center. Hug those knees into your chest. Roll into a tight little ball. And release it. Get really big. Stretch out long. And then you're just going to reach up. Happy baby pose. Grab the outsides of your feet here. And feel this final relaxation. Should feel good. So just maybe it feels good to straighten one leg and then the other. Or just staying put in a happy baby. Sometimes I like to grab from the insides, from the arches of the feet. Closing out your practice however you like. Maybe you just want to let your feet lift up high. And then slowly just dropping the feet down to the mat. Finding your final relaxation. Allow the feet to fall off to the sides, to the edge of your mat, palms face up. Let that go. It's all done. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Easy to get consumed with the busyness of the day, all the things you have to do after this. But this is an opportunity to just give yourself a moment to allow all the work you did to sink in. Throughout the day, I encourage you to find moments where you can bring this level of peace to your daily life. When you're ready, roll over to one side and press yourself up to a seated position. Taking 3 final cleansing breaths, ending class just the same way we began it. This time, inhale, lift the arms up high to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time like that. This time, inhale, bring all the goodness in. Bring it towards you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a beautiful day.